Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and today I'm going to find out what these Sougayilang reels are all about. Curiously, a neighbor of mine, Ed, who watches my channel, purchased 3 of these. I'll make one of these a reel of the day, but he purchased 3 of these on Temu. He said he paid about $20 for them, and I said, well, what a surprise. I have one of these that I got in a parts lot, and you're welcome to have it. And then, of course, I thought before I got started with that maybe I'll take it apart, show everybody what it's about, even though I won't be servicing it. And it's kind of an interesting thing. So we're going to do that today. We're going to go inside the Sougayilang and see what it's all about. I'm always suspicious of reels that tell me they've got 13 plus 1 ball bearings. So I guess maybe we'll see. This reel, while I purchased this, I purchased a bunch of used fishing reels. This one was in there. So it's kind of a nice reel. This one is a 5,000 size, but as Ed said, they kind of look a little bit undersized, line capacity wise, for the size that is being stated on the box. Could be the lower end of the 5,000s. It's ideal for lake fishing, for ponds, but most importantly, you'd probably be on piers, in boats, maybe even a surf. This one has some monofilament line on it, and I don't know, my guess is this may be an earlier generation of them, but the company has been around since 1998, so it's not a rebranded kind of a thing where, you know, they're come and gone on what I call Amazon reels, but they do actually have a company website and support and a story and some other things that go along with it, and they are a full line seller. Whether it's sold manufactured by them or not, I just don't know. Haven't been able to find that out, but they do sell lures, poles, line, and well, of course, fishing reels. Well, we're going to get underneath this, as I mentioned, and if you like these types of videos, I want to ask you to kindly subscribe, and if you do subscribe, please use that notification button. That'll enable you to see what it is that I'm working on, and well, see if it's something you like. I'm kind of interested in the architecture, the design of this reel, more than I am the reel. I think it has pretty much a standard handle. I could probably find a handle, but I'm going to give it to Ed as spare parts. And Ed also brought me a couple of other reels, 2 classics, and I'm going to use one of those for a video as well. Okay, this comes off. This is that click ratchet for your spool. And then if we remove the handle nut now, that's usually a 12 millimeter, we can take the rotor off. This has an anti-reverse override on it, so I'm a little bit curious as to whether they have, it says +1, so they must have an instant anti-reverse. But anything's a must, right? Not necessarily. I've found if there's one thing about some of these low-budget reels is that what they say and what they are 2 different things. All right, standard rotor. Now this rotor does have, I guess, a dual purpose to it. You're going to notice that there's these saw teeth in here, and that's a rotor that is typically used on a older style anti-reverse dog that will come out and latch onto here to stop it. This one does have the anti-reverse clutch in it, and it also has one of these annoying overrides. So for now, I think I'm not going to even bother taking this off for fear that I'm going to spring the spring, and well, you know where it goes from there, right? I just want to hand this over to Ed at that point. You had to take the rotor off though, because there is a screw up here, and we're going to take the 4 screws out now. We're going to get a look inside. I don't know if it was just because the handle broke and the fellow couldn't find a handle, or if there's some damage inside this reel. It seemed like it was turning pretty smooth when I managed to take it apart, spin it before. So what we're going to do is get a look, see what this is all about. So the $20 reel, you're generally not going to be able to find parts for that. That's one of the reasons why the reels are less expensive. The company website did say that they're in 96 countries, So it does have a worldwide distribution. I guess it has a little bit of a reputation as well. The 4 screws are all the same, so there's no worry about which way we put them back. And now we're going to look at that design. So far I've seen 1 ball bearing. Got a lot to go here. Alright, here's the 2nd ball bearing. I'm always skeptical when I see those claims, because first thing I ask myself is, where can you put all of those ball bearings? It's like angels on the head of a pin. Alright, these are going to go into my parts tray because I'm starting to accumulate pieces now and I don't want to lose them, even though this is designated as a parts reel. I guess if Ed wanted to find a replacement handle, it's probably a fairly common thing to do. We've just removed the axle shaft. That's kind of standard. This looks like your basic design for a fishing reel. It has a main gear, which is the big gear, drives a little gear, which is the pinion gear. The back of the main gear should have an oscillation gear drive, which is going to push this oscillation gear, moving your cross-run block up and down. All right, let's see if we can get this off now. Well, that certainly is not cooperating, so my guess on this one is that there's sand here. Oh, let's get those 2 gears out of the way. Oh, there we go. Yeah, my guess is that one of those 13 bearings, is probably gotten peened on here. We saw the broken handle. What happens sometimes is these things get over tightened. And by an example, if you take this and you kind of push, right, it's going to spread the wings here. When it spreads the wings, you're not going to be able to clear the inner race from the post. So in this case, we're just going to leave it. The reel's never been serviced. It does have grease on there. And, well, let's see. 1, 2, 3. 13. Maybe they meant it this way. Maybe it's just 3 plus 1 and they don't know what that piece means there. Ha ha ha. Maybe a bearing in here. Which leaves us to that handle that broke off, which probably has 10 ball bearings in it. Always buyer beware when you're getting something for $20 that is a reel that claims to have 13 ball bearings. Understand that they either have a great source of inexpensive ball bearings or something's getting overstated. All right, I'm going to vote for overstated. All right, let's just put this back together again so I can give it to Ed. I did want to show you it. This is a plastic case, which is what you would expect in a lower cost reel. We'll go over here for a moment. We'll leave these parts here for a moment. Take a look at the inside. Now my guess on an inexpensive reel is that we're going to find plastic, quote-unquote Teflon, or felt washers in here. This does appear to have a very good max drag. That's a very significant area here. If they follow the traditional 6 drag washer set, then it would have a significant approach to that. And look what we've got here. Whatever it is, it's all seized up. You have no drag in this reel whatsoever. There should be 3 metals, 3 drag washers. These are all stuck together. You can see they've used inexpensive steel, maybe plated, I guess, and most salt water got in there, rusted off the plating, and that's why this is a hard washer of some description. That's why they've stuck together and are ineffective. Okay, so what are we going to learn from this? We're going to learn a couple of things from this. Buyer beware. Wow, there you go. One more, and you can see all of these are rusted over and out. And that's one of the compromises that they make. They use steel rather than stainless steel, or they use inferior plating that just kind of peels off. But regardless, okay, what did we learn? Traditional design, not bad. Nothing wrong in terms of the gearing. This is something typical you would probably find on a pen reel, or you know, anybody else's reel in terms of the metallic content there, or the way it's manufactured. Straight up design. It's been around for centuries. The reel does have a an anti-reverse switch. So hey, maybe Chris wants to run out and get one of these now because it does have an anti-reverse override. It's an older technology, but again, this is probably not the current line, which is what Ed has, but you know, there is an anti-reverse override on this one as well. $20 gets you a plastic case, gets you decent gears. Beware of the drag washers. Beware of the 13+1. It doesn't exist unless we have 10 bearings in that handle that broke. And where's the benefits? All right. First time user, targeting, maybe using it, maybe liking fishing, maybe not. An inexpensive reel will always do what you expect it to do. As we mentioned, a big gear is going to turn a small gear. It's going to move something around to collect the line, in this case a rotor. And as long as you rinse these off, keep the salt out of them, and do a periodic maintenance to enable you to avoid something like this, this reel will be functional and probably will last for quite some time. Will it do everything that a $150 reel will do? Well, that all depends, right? What's the everything? It certainly will collect line, which is kind of what you're up to in terms of bringing it in, bringing it out. I'm sure it casts fine. So what's the what it won't do? It won't do things like, well, the drag may be less effective. You may find that the feel of the reel is not smooth. You may find that the plastic case is not as durable as you're going to need, but for the most part, it's a fundamental reel. Nothing wrong with that. All right, just trying to get that block in there and go on. All right, so what's my takeaway from this? The takeaway is it's an okay reel. And again, the company's been around since 1998, so it's not like they just showed up, worked with some kind of trade reel manufacturer to drop a bunch of reels in a single shot and leave. They've been around, and again, the distribution says that they've been worldwide, so I'll trust them on that. And well, overall, again, if you're a first-time user, if you're experiencing the thoughts of learning about fishing, maybe you're not sure whether you want to use it or not, go ahead and get one of these. Now, where did he get this for $20 or $21 or whatever he got it for? Temu. Now, I'm always suspicious of Temu. But they are on there. They're also, I believe, they're also on Amazon. And they do have a website you can purchase them from as well. Needless to say, they are made in China. And almost every reel these days seems to be made in China. But I guess if that's where you need to go to get this reel, I guess that's where you go. All right. So I'm just going to close this back up and I'm going to hand it off to Ed. But I did want to share with you the inside look at a Sougayilang, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, spin fishing reel. That's on the lower end of the scale, but it's not a bad reel by design, by the parts in it, or from the look and feel of the reel. So again, if you're looking for something cheap, I'm not even going to call this one inexpensive, but if you're looking for something cheap, that I call them cabin reels. They're sitting by on your summer place waiting for a guest to arrive that you don't want to worry too much if the guest ruins the tackle. Yeah, it's a good reel to have. The weight on it's got a good feel. It doesn't feel like some of these reels that you get that have that plastic case that just, well, you're wondering if it's ever going to be able to hold up to a fish. This one's decent. It is plastic, but it is a heavier plastic. And I think overall not the worst reel I've seen, that's for sure. Okay, well, before I leave, I want to thank our first responders, our police, fire, safety, rescue, everybody involved in keeping us out of harm's way. You may be getting tired of hearing that message. I'm never tired of saying it. I do appreciate their career selection, their choice, and dedication to task. And, well, I want to thank you for watching. Again, if you like these videos, please make sure you check that like box. Make sure that you subscribe if you want to see more of these. And if you have any questions on this reel or any comments you'd like to make about it, then please just go ahead and do that. The comment section is right there. I do try to read and answer all of them. And well, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you again and wish you a good day. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle.